The most thrilling, spine-tingling series ever.
From the pages of R.L. Stein's best-selling books,
And the screams go on forever and ever.
We now return to Goosebumps.
Greetings, Goosebumps fans, young and old, big and small, living dead and undead. Welcome back to the Goosebumps Crew Podcast. As always, I am your host, Isaiah Vargas. I'm joined by my good buddies, Bjorn Palanick and Nick Shaw. We are the Goosebumps Crew, and we're back to, what else? Talk some Goosebumps. If this is your first time joining us here on the Goosebumps Crew Podcast, first of all, I want to sincerely welcome you all for joining us. If you are or have ever been a fan of the popular Goosebumps series of books or the monster franchise that those books spawned, I have a feeling this podcast is going to be right up your alley, because as I always say, me, Bjorn, and Nick are some of the biggest Goosebumps nerds on the entire planet. We could talk about Goosebumps for hours on end, and that's exactly what we do here on this podcast. Every week we got a brand new episode talking about everything Goosebumps, whether it be the books, TV shows, movies, video games, merchandise, whatever it is. If it has Goosebumps in the name, we're going to talk about it so much that we're going to give you at home Goosebumps. So with all that said, if you end up liking today's episode, make sure you leave a like and comment. If you're watching us on YouTube, make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel and hit that bell notification so when new episodes go up every Wednesday at noon Central, 1 p.m. Eastern, you'll get a nice little notification letting you know that it's available to watch. But if you're just dying to get those episodes early, you can't wait for Wednesday, you just gotta have them, trust me, I've been there, then you can catch the audio only versions a day early. We're streaming on platforms such as Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Amazon Music, and iHeartRadio, just to name a few. Wherever you get your podcasts, you could probably find the Goosebumps Crew. And of course, you can follow the Goosebumps Crew on social media. We're on Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, and Facebook, just to name a few. You can also follow Bjorn and Nick at Goosebumps Aussie Fan and Sean, respectively, on their social medias and their YouTubes as well, so you can check them out. All those links are going to be in the description below, so check them out. Join the Goosebumps Crew today and become a crew member. We appreciate you in advance for your support. Now, this week on the podcast, a few weeks ago, if you guys have been sticking with us, we did a tier list for the OG 62 Goosebumps books, and it was a pretty fun episode. I kind of like it when we do our top 10s or rankings, because it's always either a collective opinion on certain things, or we get to hear our own opinions and sort of compare and contrast what we think about certain books and monsters and whatnot. And today we're doing another tier list, but instead of ranking books or episodes, we're actually going to rank the monsters of Goosebumps, specifically the Goosebumps mascot monsters. Now, for a franchise like Goosebumps, which has been around for 3 decades now, more than 3 decades, there's bound to be a lot of monsters that have carried over from their, iconic monsters that have carried into sort of being mascots of the franchise. When you have an anthology franchise with so many different characters, some are going to stand out more than others, and Goosebumps had a lot of those. So whether it came down to marketing the franchise or putting them on merchandise or whatnot, there's a lot of Goosebumps monsters that sort of rose above the ranks to become even more iconic than they were in the original source material. So today we're going to see which ones deserved that mascot status and which ones probably didn't. So as always, what we say is that this is completely our own opinion. If you agree or disagree with our picks, nothing wrong with that. In fact, we would actually like to hear your guys' opinions in the comments below. Let us know what you think the best Goosebumps mascot monsters are. Leave a comment down below. And just let us know if you agree or disagree with us, because we're always interested to know.
2 words. Chicken, chicken.
Yes.
Yes.
The best mascot there's ever been.
End of video.
Not enough merchandise.
Edit. Okay, Hayden,
Colonel
good to go.
Sanders. Welcome,
It's so good it became the mascot of KFC. It's a finger
Hey,
licking
I'm
nightmare.
surprised.
I tell you, like, I know they did that promotion for KFC, and I felt that was, I've said it before, but it's such a missed opportunity that one of the books they were giving out wasn't chicken chicken. I mean, how
Yeah.
like in your face, brilliant idea
you
is that,
imagine-
and they didn't even offer that as a book.
Could you imagine if they had like the big advertising poster with like the chicken,
With the
and then they
chicken.
have the chicken like leaning over like the chicken? Like that would have been so
They could
good.
have even put Colonel Sanders' face over the girls and had it be
No.
chicken
You know what
chicken.
they could have done? You could have had the chicken, and then Colonel Sanders is like behind the chicken with like forks.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, like he's
Face
getting-
in the
and she's like,
chicken. That's why she's so scared, running away.
She's trying to run away.
Makes perfect sense.
Oh my God.
that's amazing. But yeah, let's get into
Somebody out there Photoshop that and send it to us.
I think
I
would love to have
could.
that.
Anyone can do it. Photoshop that. Yes, I agree.
Well, anyway,
Well-
let's get into our Goosebumps mascot tier list. All right, so this is our mascot tier list. We have 26
R.L. Stein.
Goosebumps mascots down here. Yes, R.L. Stein is in there. I will explain when we get to it. But here for the 5 categories, from best to worst, we have poster monsters. Now, obviously, this is the best of the best, the cream of the crop. These are the ones that when you think Goosebumps, you automatically think of these ones. These are the ones that come to mind.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
I've had that. I've had that experience with most people that don't know Goosebumps. They're like, "Oh, Goosebumps. Oh, that. Yeah, I know that, but don't know anything else."
Don't know anything else besides just that one character.
I'll say
Then
the
we have
dummy. Yeah.
then we have trending, which is basically pretty good, not the best, but pretty decent overall. Then we have nice experiment. This is basically like the middle of the road. They had a few good appearances overall, but nothing really that memorable. All things considered. Then we have We'll Give You a Call. These are the ones that are not really that great. They're pretty meh,
We'll
overall.
call you back.
Basically just kind of like, yeah, all right, yeah, we'll give you a call next week or something like that. You know how it is.
You might appear
call
like
us.
on one of the months on the calendar, maybe.
Yeah, possibly. And then finally we have rejects. This is ones that not only are terrible monsters, but why are they getting so much love and attention? So as I said, we got 26 different monsters. Now basically our ranking is basing off of course, how often they were used in the marketing and the merchandise. So they had to have been some kind of mascot in a way. Whether or not they caught on or not, they still count. It
I wonder if
also
it'll be curly or slappy.
yeah. Well, it
Don't
is
know.
also going to depend on the monster itself. We are going to look at like how good that monster is. Are they memorable even outside of marketing? And so basically, all things considered, it's going to be going down to 2 different factors. Are they a good monster, and do they deserve their status as an iconic Goosebumps monster? So, going based off of alphabetical order, we are starting with the Abominable Snowman. Now, this guy appeared first in Abominable Snowman Pasadena. It was book number 38. For the most part, he had a few appearances in the 90s, but he didn't really hit big status until the Goosebumps 2015 movie. So, that point, for whatever reason, he just shot up in popularity. I personally still don't get it. So for me, I don't think this guy's going very high. I think he's sitting comfortably in the middle there. What do you guys think?
I'd say,
Oh, well, you're nicer about it than I am.
Oh, you don't
I'd
like
say
him at all?
The book was very good.
look, I'd say middle of the road because he
Somewhat.
did have a cartoon mascot in the 90s, like the Shrunken Head or Slappy or Cuddles. He did have it. Like some of the merch did use the Abominable Snowman, if you remember, but he did look more like he wasn't the white, snow
Even
like
got the series
shell,
two,
if you guys remember.
collectible.
Yeah.
Like there's even a
So-
series collectible of him. The way he looked there, like he was used on actually surprisingly a little bit in the 90s. So I would put him in the mid. He was definitely the mid monster they would use sometimes but not all the time. You know, he wasn't your Cuddles or your Prince Corey or Slappy. He was like, you know, every now and again, like, oh, we just need something a bit different for this. Let's put the Abominable Snowman on it. I think like mid.
Yeah,
He's mid.
I don't want to say he's a bad monster. I feel like the movie kind of made him honestly less scary because he just kind of seems like a giant ape in a way. I feel like what
Yeah.
you're saying about just the more like monstrous proportions that he had back in the 90s, both on the Tim Jacobus art and in that 90s sort of like, graphics. He had a lot more of like that monstrous quality to him. Plus the just kind of like having the snow all over him was a really good like design touch. So
Yeah.
even then, I didn't see him that much. He was there a little bit, but I didn't see him like super often in the 90s merch, you know? So I don't know.
He was
Not here
always.
anyway. I mean, he was on. Obviously, he was on stuff, but like, he wasn't what most would consider to be like mascot material. I
Hmm.
just think it was like I wouldn't say like an unscary design, but it was not scary really to where they could put it on some stuff.
Yeah.
Because I honestly think like in some aspects, unless we can get confirmation, that's why the haunted mask art changed. You don't see like because they had that like weird, I don't know, almost like cartoonish haunted mask that was out there on some merch. I mean, you did obviously get Tim's artwork on stuff, but you did with Slappy too.
Yeah.
But I don't know, man. Like, I just don't see why this was chosen over, more obvious choices.
They
Like,
Yeah,
just. I feel like they just needed a rampaging monster in the film, and that was it. They
well,
were like,
that's
we
the
need
thing.
something that
It's
can
like
just rampage around.
I feel like there is probably other like candidates too. I just don't know why. Not only that, but like he's focused on a lot in the movie and in the marketing. Like every single poster or like merchandise for the movie probably has a hint of the Abominable Snowman in there. And I'm just like, why? Like, why did
so
he
much
get
to
like so
bring it
much
back
attention?
for the second one.
Yeah, he
No,
came
like
back for the second
literally,
one.
Like,
there was an ad in Australia. I don't know if you guys had the same ad, and it was like it was the Abominable Snowman like peering up, and then he like hits the thing, and then the
Hmm.
poster would like pop up. That was one of the most used things here in Australia. So like everyone saw the snowman. Like
Hmm.
he was like it was like a one like on a big screen, and they'd have sometimes even those like moving ones on the big billboards, and it was literally the hand would come up. His head would come up, he would hit it, and it looked like shattered glass, and then it would turn into like the poster. It looked really cool. I remember thinking, man, that's sick, like how they did that.
Yeah.
He's just a rampaging monster for Goosebumps. He's Rampage, the movie. He looks like the damn
He looks like Rampage. That was what I was gonna say. It
he
looks like the
does.
ape from Rampage.
Yeah, and that was a Sony movie too. So they were like, "Hey, let's just take the little stuff from Goosebumps and make him a little more, like I don't know, a little more monstrous." So
My thing though is this that it's a very boring monster, all things considered. It's just he's not very interesting. I think the only thing that keeps me from putting him in rejects is just that I do like the design in the 90s more. He looked a little more like a monster and not just like, a regular run-of-the-mill primate, I guess.
yeah, he
But
had some toys. He
he
had
did,
little
but I mean,
minifigure
like,
and
when you look at what is, well, here's the thing. Abominable Snowman obviously is a fictional character anyway.
mhm.
Uh,
Or is it?
unless someone out there has one in their freezer that they're not telling us about. I'm going to say that the design typically is more like a Bigfoot but in the snow. So I mean, it makes sense that they went this route. This does look more like a Bigfoot if he just lived in the mountains with snow. I mean, literally it looks exactly like that. So I mean, they're probably more faithful to the description of what the Abominable Snowman is, but I don't, I just don't like it.
Yeah.
Like it
No.
makes no sense to use this.
It's
I
on the
mean, I think they just did
very
it because it's a movie and they wanted like a giant monster, but I feel they had that with the mantis. So
yeah.
I feel like it's redundant to have even a bigger monster. And
Even
then
the
they brought the
movie
blob, which is even bigger.
even the
So
movie had like better, more like interesting designs for a lot of the monsters, and a lot of them didn't get used a lot. They were saved for the climax. So I don't know. Maybe it was just like, oh, we can just put in this not very because it's CG. It's probably because it was CG and they can just put it anywhere they wanted. So they didn't have to spend time on actors and makeup and all that stuff. So long story short, Abominable Snowman, it's not good. I don't know why this one got so much attention from the movie, but it's going right there and we'll give you a call. So not off to a great start. Now we got Amazo, the rabbit.
That was used a lot in the movies.
A lot of 90s stuff. He hasn't really made an appearance since, though. He's pretty pretty stuck.
Well, it's definitely used more than the snowman, that's for sure. There's a lot more Amazo. Like they always put Amazo the bunny rabbit on like the different merch, or if they did like they would do the mashup stuff. Sometimes they would always put him like there. He was always there. Like,
was it? Like I guess I never noticed. Like.
I've got I can show you a lot of stuff with him on it if you want to see it. It's just a lot.
I mean, I believe you. I just like I don't know. Like I
think it's because it's a bunny rabbit.
Because it's just a bunny. You know what I mean?
It's a bunny rabbit. You know what I mean? Like it's so easy to just plop him here, plop him there.
Well, I think it's also because
like you like egg monsters from Mars and an Amazo over here.
You'd be surprised how much kind of thing. Even Egg Monsters from Mars was on, like, later especially. Like, in 97, 98 was when they really started to use, like, Egg Monsters, like, on a lot of stuff. Really weird. Like, you know, I don't know, like, certain years they used more monsters than others. I mean, you got your Curly and your Slappy that was just always used, like, from the start to finish of the marketing. But then Amazo was like, yeah, there's a lot of mashup stuff. They always just put him there. You know, he had like the little mini figure as well, like from the what do you call it? The scare figures. He even had one of those. Like, I mean, it was used quite a bit in the 90s.
Well, I can kind of see why. Because I mean, because it is a bunny rabbit, but it's a very like evil, angry looking bunny rabbit.
Yeah, he's coming out of a hat, you know, like, you know, they just thought it was back then. They probably thought it was kind of like a cute monster, so they were like, "Oh, we'll put this here." I noticed there was a lot of I've seen a lot of like, because Nick and I were talking about this actually not long ago, like girls targeted Goosebump merch. And I've noticed a lot of t-shirts from the 90s that have popped up here and there. I actually have one, and they would put usually Amazo on it because it was like a cute bunny rabbit. It's more targeted to like girls, like stuff. Like Goosebumps, there's a Goosebumps diary that came out in 1997, and guess who's on the cover of it?
Amazo.
Amazo the bunny rabbit.
Yeah.
You know, so I think it was heavily more a female girl targeted character more, which kind of makes sense because it is a bunny rabbit. But yeah, especially in the 90s, I think it just worked, you know, it worked back then.
Yeah.
I don't know now though, like we've said, I don't know if now it works, but back then it did.
It probably doesn't now, but I think what kind of added to it, and it definitely puts him over. I would say I definitely put him above or Abominable Snowman.
Oh yeah, for sure.
I'd probably put him in Nice Experiment because
he's more recognizable, I think, from the old stuff that if people saw his design, like especially that design, that's literally the design they used a lot. You go, oh yeah, I know that. Like I remember that.
It also adds to like the humor that they were going for with Goosebumps. I feel like Amazo is one of those characters that's like it is like creepy but also funny to look at because it's a bunny rabbit with a big exaggerated face on it, especially when you look at Jacobus's art. It's just like such an exaggerated, like, you know, long jaw, buck teeth, like Looney Tunes looking thing. It adds to a lot of.
You know what, it got a Funko and it worked for the Funko.
Did get a Funko.
It really it did make an appearance recently. Sorry, we forgot about the Funko.
It did have an appearance recently.
Nice Experiment.
I would grab it.
Nice Experiment.
But yeah, no, I think Amazo. No, the reason I put in Nice Experiment is that I think he works for what he did. In terms of a monster, though, it's okay. It kind of hops back and forth because in the book it was like, he is evil.
See what you just said? It hops back. It hops
back.
No pun intended.
It really
man.
wasn't, because he was like, it went right over his head. So you said that and explained it to him.
No, I do
Jeez,
agree.
man.
It's a nice experiment, Goosebump Monster. Like, look, we've said this before. The book isn't amazing or anything. Amazing, amazo. We keep doing it. See, but as a mascot in the '90s, he worked, particularly on certain things, and definitely targeted towards the more girls stuff. I think really worked. Like that, because it's a cute bunny rabbit. It worked. You know, girls would have seen that shirt in the '90s and gone, "Oh, I want that one."
Bunny rabbit?
You know, like they would have picked that over like Slappy doing this. You know, they would have gone, "Oh, I'd rather have the one with the little bunny rabbit on it." Like the boys went for like Slappy, not the girls. So you kind of weigh that.
I don't know.
Yeah, but
I don't know. Now it's different. In the '90s, I don't know.
I think he works for just having that like humor like that Goosebumps had with its character design. I don't think as a villain he's that great, which is why I'm kind of like he's good, but not like amazing. But
He's amazo.
But he
He's
works.
the most
He
amazing of them all.
Now he wasn't a bunny rabbit in the show, but he did get rolling the Horrorland show at Disney, so he had some kind of a presence. So
he had a presence in the '90s, but he definitely did in the '90s for sure. And yeah, like he recently got a Funko of all the characters that could have chosen. They've got
a weird one though. I feel like they're granted there are other Goosebumps monsters. You know, I feel like could have gotten a Funko over a Mazo, but
Nine Terror Towers should have got one. You know,
because the axe, man, it would look so cool.
All these really cool characters, and they went with
any monster that had a weapon would have looked cool as a Funko.
Yeah.
Like, and yeah, that's why the Executioner would have worked well, because he literally has a weapon, like with the axe.
Well, speaking of characters with weapons, now we got a more modern one with Captain Ben from Creep from the Deep. Now, this guy appeared in Goosebumps Horrorland Creep from the Deep. It was the second book. And he mostly stuck to the 2010s era of Goosebumps. He hasn't really made that much an appearance. He was very big in that series, and he did appear in the movie. He was a lot on the marketing for Horrorland, though. So, Captain Ben.
Yeah, he was for Horrorland. Most recently had a stamp.
He was in the Goosebumps Horror Town game too, I believe.
Oh yeah, he was in Horror Town. I haven't played that game in a long time, so I kind of forget.
Yeah, it's been a little bit because I think that game died. Like I got on it, I don't know, a couple weeks ago, and there hasn't been an update since Christmas. So that tells me
that's a shame.
Probably.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, to be fair, that game was way overpriced for what you're getting. You could literally not expand your town without paying like $100 or something stupid, I'm sure, just to get one little square. Like,
no,
that's probably an exaggeration, but it was a lot.
It seems like that era of game is dying because Simpsons Tapped Out was one of the first to do that, and that one ended back in like January. So I feel like that era of mobile gaming is kind of coming to an end. But
because they're City,
yeah,
they tried to do SimCity with Goosebumps, but made it worse because now you got to pay out the ass to get.
I mean,
all the stuff.
Since
even play the game
for a while, is that we'll give you a call when we want to see you again.
I'm gonna just for the fact that he wasn't used a lot. I would put him over Abominable Snowman though. Going off of this design, you guys can't really see it, but this is like a very zombie pirate-esque. I think he looks cool, and if they push for him a little more, I feel like if he had like more presence in the books, he probably could have been like a good modern, Goosebumps mascot. He has that kind of look to him, but I just don't think he had the presence to really kind of stay long, I guess.
Yeah, the most recent piece of merch he had was on the Goosebumps stamps they brought out recently. There was a stamp.
I think it was this. I think it was this art. Yeah. So
it was literally that art on it. Yeah. So he's just had a recent piece of merch, one stamp.
He had a little bit of time to shine because of Horrorland, but once that series ended, he never really made a comeback. So, same thing, unfortunately, for Count Nightwing. Now, I don't know. What do you guys think?
He's just
I'm
kind of
Goosebumps
as vampire. He's just the Goosebumps vampire. That's it.
I do. Yeah.
But I'd put him in. I don't have much to say about him other than we'll give him a call. I
Yeah.
mean, when we do another movie and we need 100 Goosebump monsters
That
rampaging
might
attack,
even be a reject for me, just because it was very underutilized and it was not one that is memorable.
Yeah, you know
At
what?
least the snowman is memorable. Like,
Yeah, you know what? I am gonna throw him in rejects because Count Nightwing doesn't have anything distinct about him. They really tried to like push them in that 2008 like, like kind of rebrand for Goosebumps. They tried to push him on merch a lot, but Vampire Breath's not a very memorable book to begin with, and and Count Nightwing is pretty generic. He's just basically a vampire, and that's it.
it's just so Goosebumps has a vampire.
hmm
Like we needed a vampire, so this is him. And you know what?
vampire.
Also,
he
it
was
was
on the
only-
show, I guess.
He looks
I think the
stupid
only
in the Goosebumps
merch
movie.
yeah, no, like he looked terrible in the movie. Like I think the only
Yeah, that looked rough.
piece of merch that exists of him is a window sticker. You know those window stickers? There was one with there was like Count Nightwing. That was it. I can't think of anything else that had him even on it. Other than that, there was the stamps as well. But yeah.
Yeah, the stamps. Well,
I don't
so
know.
far it's not
Like
been.
the reissue books. I mean,
Yeah,
yeah. I mean, I think there was a reissue of Vampire Breath for some reason, but
It's
I
just-
again, terrible.
Oh,
like
the next one's a big
it's
one.
like Captain Ben, where like they tried to push him, but it just didn't stick. It was just not one of those ones that like really resonated as much as some of the others. Unlike,
Yeah, Captain Ben at least had
Okay.
a cool design. And
yeah,
could have, maybe with
Cuddles?
the right marketing.
I think Cuddle's
Oh,
gonna
that's a
go in
poster
trending.
monster.
Cuddles is up
Poster
the
monster?
freaking top.
Yeah, you know
If
what?
this is an Australian
Dude,
poster monster,
he's on
he is up
everything
the
from
top.
90s.
Yeah,
He was on everything. He has to be a
everything.
poster monster.
Honestly, like when you think Monster Blood covers, you think of the first one obviously because it was the first.
hmm
At least if you grew up in the 90s. But that second one popped. Even like though the book wasn't good, like Cuddles on that cover was memorable, and I think that's why he got pushed on so much merch. And he was on a lot of merch.
It would
He was on
like,
everything.
even looking at
Everything.
like his design here for like all that merch, like this sort of key art design, it looks like a monster. It doesn't look like, just kind of a big hamster. He has like these humanoid proportions, plus just the detail of always having monster blood dripping down his face. Like it just makes him look ghoulish. And again, it's kind of like Amazo but done better, because it's also another
Yeah.
monster you look at and
Yeah.
like that's kind of funny because it's a big hamster. But
I can
Yeah, I was gonna
assure
say,
you.
like, even though like I know a lot of people out there probably gonna sit there and look at, oh, well, you just totally dissed on, Mazo. I'm like, yes, I did, because it's a rabbit, like with just with bigger teeth. Like that's
Yeah.
all I got from that. So Cuddles, at least they went at least a somewhat different direction. When you look at his design, it's also for whatever reason like more appealing to the eye on merch than what Amazo is. Why, I have no idea. Couldn't
Mhm.
tell you that, but at least in my opinion, it's more pleasant on the eye. Like maybe it's just because I'm so used to seeing him on everything.
He has
Because
a
everything
more
Bjorn shows me from Australia, even it's Cuddles, 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 Cuddles.
Don't even.
Well,
don't
Australia,
even
we
like-
love Cuddles.
But
Yeah,
that's the thing, is that like again, Amazo was fine for that, but basically everything that Amazo did right was done tenfold by Cuddles, because Cuddles is actually a monster. Like he's an enormous hamster, so he is a monster. And
Yeah.
he does have a more interesting design. I look at Cuddles and I'm like, that's Goosebumps right there, because it has the horror of a monster, but it's also a hamster, so it's kind of funny. So it
I
combines.
do think what you said like really sticks though. The monster blood that's always dripping from his mouth, because obviously the Goosebumps logo is the same green. We're gonna say it's probably monster blood. Who knows?
Yeah.
Probably never meant to be that, but maybe that's where Stein got the inspiration for monster blood. I don't know.
Yeah, who
But
knows?
that's what you think of. You think Goosebumps because of that slimy green. So maybe that's why.
Mm-hmm.
Cuddles
Yeah.
was a poster mascot. Like he was one of
Like,
the
literally,
one of the gang members. I always call it like the gang, the Goosebump Bros.
Yeah.
He was one of them.
Or a Goosebumps crew.
He was part of the crew. Like, yeah. He's like, my book sucked, but I was cool.
Yeah, he is a shining light in that very bad book. So
Yeah.
at least he's got that going for him. And speaking of iconic,
Just put it up the top.
we gotta
It's up the
put him
top.
up here.
Front of
We gotta
if we're
put him
doing
up
it
here.
that way.
We know Curly's gonna win.
No.
Like
Curly-
if he doesn't win, we will be everyone's gonna hate us. Okay? Put him there. Just put him there.
Yeah,
No.
Curly
Curly is the perfect mascot.
Curly is the perfect. I mean, he was made with Mascot in mind. Like this is the only one where it was like he was made specifically for marketing and merch. So of course, he's gonna reign supreme. And he's like the quintessential, like of Slappy might be the most popular, but if you ask me, Curly is still the face of Goosebumps. Because it's
made to be face Goosebumps.
Yeah.
Look,
He's
he's made to be the face
skeleton.
Goosebumps. Curly is the 90s. Slappy, yes, the modern mascot, but
Mhm.
90s mascot.
Even then, like
Curly.
I don't want to understand why they switched. Like I think with the revamp, Curly should have came back, and he's essentially their crypt
I
keeper.
mean, they tried to.
He was
they
the
tried.
storyteller, was all that. I mean, you saw that like redesign, and that's what we got with Trick or Treat Studios products and stuff like that. But I'm telling you, man, like if they just would have stuck with this 90s one going forward, yeah, see, I mean, like that's a mascot, bro. I mean, come on.
Well, he
And
even
again,
has
he is very much keeper for Goosebumps.
yeah.
So it just made so much sense.
He has that quality to him, like you said, like Crypt Keeper, where you can imagine like he is the person telling the stories. He even kind of has like I've always thought he looked a little bit like R.L. Stine. I think it's the glasses, but he always kind of had like qualities of Stine to him, which it would be
I
pretty.
always
fun.
thought it was a combination of Stein and Jacobus.
Yeah, I thought that too. It's like if you combine
Whether
the
that
two
was
and
intentional or not, I don't know. But I always
I
thought
don't
it was
know.
a combination of both.
I choose to think that. And
Here's
he's
the thing too, because
versatile.
like, and I don't know, like I'm gonna have to ask Tim. I was like, have we been saying your last name wrong all these years? I keep seeing some videos, like even the most recent con
Jacobus?
that he was at with Stein. They pronounce it as Jacobus, and he never corrected him. But
I don't
every
think
time like he says his name, I'm fairly certain he says Jacobus.
I hear Jacobus more, and I think I even did ask him once, like, is it Jacobus or Jacobus? And he said Jacobus.
Yeah,
So
I was gonna say it's like I'm fairly certain the 1,000 times we've talked to him, like that dude has said Jacobus.
if we
And that
if we
one
find out
video
it actually
clip
is
from that
Jacobus,
convention has made me second guess now. I'm like, is this one of those like, oh, what do they call those? Like pareidolia moments where like
or like a
you
Mandela effect.
think, like, yes, Mandela effect. That's what it was. Is
It's like
it one of those scenarios? We think it's this, but really, it's
It's
always
like
been
how
this.
everyone was freaking out a few years ago about Berenstain Bears, but it's actually Berenstain Bears. Oh
It's always
man.
going to be Berenstain Bears.
And Curly is a versatile character too because he can be put anywhere. So like for any time they needed him to like let's have him at the beach, let's have him, in the winter, let's have him in his backyard, let's have him in a graveyard. Like he was a character that they could switch around and work with his design. He was versatile. So he worked for being that mascot. He was made with that intention. And it sucks that he's not like as prominent now. Again, Slappy kind of took over. But he's still kind of around. He's still getting like some representation. Of course, we got the Trick or Treat Studios figures and a few other
Build a figure,
mask and stuff
They
like
put him on
that.
some of the other merch too. I think they put him on the magnets.
He
Not
is
like
on the
as a
magnet.
magnet.
He's on like the boxing of the magnet, I think.
Yeah. So like, he was like on like the tags and stuff and
Mhm.
some of the back stuff like that. But
So when it comes to he's not gone, but he's not as prominent,
Again,
and that
that
does
was a good
kind of
line.
suck because I always will consider him the Goosebumps, crypt keeper.
he's the goat. That's one thing I liked about Horror Town too. they kind of gave him that storytelling role.
Yeah.
Like when there was a new story that you started of, say, like the Haunted Mask or even Vampire Breath and all this other stuff, like it was Curly who would like interject and say something and kind of talk with the characters, kind of like it was a break the wall moment. So I really liked that aspect of Horror Town and kind of wish that was something that could continue. Because again, like he's supposed to be the storyteller. So perfect mascot. I mean, like it screams Goosebumps, and he was on everything in the 90s. So
Yeah.
yeah, I don't know. I just wish they would have kept him around for more stuff, because now you don't see him at all with Scholastic's stuff. I mean, it's always the other brands, like Cavity Colors, Trick or Treat Studios, whatever, that bring Curly back in some form or fashion. But not Scholastic.
It's because they're doing the nostalgia of Goosebumps. Like everything is like made like the original 90s book.
I mean, it should.
So like,
especially with Scholastic,
because
focuses more on books.
Yeah.
Look, Curly does the nostalgia, and he's the original mascot, and he always will be the original mascot. He does all the.
But we also have to
any merch they bring out that's like nostalgia merch from the 90s. It's Curly, like what Trick or Treat's doing, with Cavity. Any new stuff, anything that's new, it's generally Slappy. So it's like just old, new. Do you know what I mean? So like they can give us all the nostalgia they want with Curly, and I will take it. I will take it. Do you know what I mean? Like I will accept it in tenfold, like you said. But then when they bring new stuff out, it's like
I don't love the new design of Curly that Trick or Treat Studios used. I wish they would have done the classic.
Yeah, it's
but
like
it's still Curly. So like I took it anyway. Like I will take it all day. Still Curly.
Yeah. It's it's weird because as Goosebumps fans, we've grown used to seeing certain things with this monster and certain things with that. So like anytime we see anything that's targeted to us 90s kids or 90s Goosebumps, it's like they will generally use Curly, and we're like, hell yeah. But anytime they do anything new for the new kids, new generation, it's like, oh, Slappy. So it's like we just know that they're going to do that now. We know they're going to do that. So that's it. Like, we're used to it.
The thing about Curly, unfortunately, is that he doesn't have any books tied to his name. So he's purely only tied to the merchandise and the marketing. And since that's not as strong now as it was back then, there's no real need for him unless they gave him a book. If they give him, first of all, if they give Curly a book, like just finally just write him into a book, that'd be amazing. They kind of tried to do that with the
That'll
comics.
be up to Stein.
The comics tried to
write a book about Curly.
You know what? That should be what Dead Dogs Still Fetch should be. And it should be basically like Curly and Drool in a story.
That would be cool, honestly.
I mean,
you should talk to Braden about
that. It's Charles Stein if we meet him.
I want that.
Write a book about Curly.
Yeah.
Why can't you write a book about Curly? Like, why? Do it. Do it. Or he has no inspiration to do one. Like he doesn't.
If you're not gonna use him on merch, at least put him in a book.
It's like he doesn't know what to do with Curly as a story.
50,000 books. Curly can at least get one, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Get a pitch time. Just like, all right, 50,000 Monster Bloods. Give us one Curly book, all right?
80,000.
Now, I mean, you could say, I guess, like he's kind of on books, somewhat. Just because the Series 2 collectible of Say Cheese and the Series collectible of Say Cheese and Die is Curly.
That always kind of pissed me off. It was like, that's not him. It's not the same
or
guy.
Camp Jelly Jam is not King Jelly Jam on it. It's Buddy.
It's
even
Buddy.
Though tag on the bottom. That's what it is.
Because they forgot that there didn't exist any art of King Jelly Jam at the time. So
I don't know. I'm just saying.
Stay
out of the basement.
Yeah, well, here we got Dr. Brewery. More specifically, this cover of his hand, because it was. I was
gonna say,
yeah.
Dr. Brewer though was like okay. Here's where it gets interesting, because this is a great book, amazing story, amazing cover, but how? To a casual Goosebumps fan, how memorable is Dr. Brewer to a casual Goosebumps fan?
Well, going off of just this art alone, it is an iconic cover, and they did use like the plant hand a lot. I remember there was that dispenser that had the plant hand on there. Usually,
There was
like
the doorknob,
mhm.
The doorknob,
doorknob
yeah.
grabber thing.
Yeah. So like
Yeah,
anytime they
doorknob
had to
cover.
use like a hand, it was usually the plant hand. So now obviously that's just a hand. It's not Dr. Brewer in and of himself. But that's
I
the
mean,
thing.
I would
It's
just say
like
Dr. Brewer, like, because you know he is the mascot of the story.
yeah.
Yeah, well, I mean, he wouldn't be the mascot of the story. He's not even
He's the villain.
He's
He's
the
the
villain of
evil
the
Dr. Brewer is the villain
yeah,
of the story.
he's
So,
yeah. But I mean, as far as mascot goes, I mean, honestly, I don't.
I wouldn't
That's
say a
not even
mascot
really
though.
mascot
No,
true.
he's not a mascot.
Much as I would like. Normally, in any other category, we would talk about Stay Out of the Basement. Obviously, from our other tier lists and everything, it's high up there. As mascot goes, yeah, that's not flying.
Nah.
I mean, if they would have done like I don't know, like Goosebumps planters or something plant themed,
A
could have
planter.
done more with them. Sure, yeah, exactly.
Mhm.
I mean, I'd get one of those.
Or give him
Just
a entire Disney Plus season.
Yeah, I mean, but I mean, even that, it's not a mascot. You know what I mean?
I know.
Like, you don't think mascot. So I don't know. Like,
It's more
that's either
based
got to
on
be
just
we'll
this
give you a
image.
call or reject. That's going to be one or the other.
He's
It
not
really
a
could go
memorable
either.
mascot.
I'm gonna put it at
Like,
the end of we'll give you a call because I don't want to call it a reject. I do like the image of the hand, and from that alone, there was many times where this image itself would appear. But it is low because Dr. Brewer himself is not an iconic monster. It's just this piece of cover art.
yeah.
But since it is
Ooh.
technically connected to a monster,
Well, I think Brewer's an iconic monster. I just don't think it works as a mascot.
yeah. So I'd say we'll
And
give
that's
you a
what
couple
this
on the
thing is
very bottom.
regarding as mascots. So
Yeah. I think how Nightwing outranks him from how bad it is though. So I'm gonna put him at the end of we'll give you a call. Egg Monster. From Egg Monsters from Mars.
I mean, in the 90s, like I said, 97 to 98 merch, he was on a lot. Everything
yeah, I was
had.
gonna say I wouldn't put it in poster monsters, even though I do believe there was a poster, in fact, of
There was
Egg
a
Monsters
poster. I
not-
got it on a wooden frame, like a wooden
Yeah.
poster.
But I would
But
say
he was
trending
used
at
quite a
least.
bit in the
I
That's my
90s,
opinion.
I do like
particularly
it.
later in the 90s. He was used
In terms of
a lot.
like goo monsters and Goosebumps, I do think it is kind of nice that they're almost like little gremlin creatures. I love when they give them like arms and legs, so they're not just like like little blobs going around.
Watches
I like to
of
think of
egg
them as
yolk with eyes.
exactly.
Yeah. You didn't see him much in 96, but in 97, 98,
There's
a
some
lot of that
unreleased merch
he was on.
from
There's some
Hasbro.
unreleased Egg Monster stuff, though, yes.
Mhm.
Yes.
There's supposed to be
egg.
like a little egg that you open up, and it's like a little like you play it,
Egg
but you
mo-
like
yeah.
it jiggles a little bit. Like
Like
it was kind of cool.
it's like Nickelodeon slime or something.
Exactly.
Or
Yeah.
what was
Oh man,
But no,
I
I can concur. He was used a lot later. Like, he was used a lot later.
he's got a good design.
Yeah,
I feel like
I feel another missed opportunity with this. How would they not partner with Cadbury eggs at the time and release a Goosebumps one at
probably
Easter?
probably
Like,
because nobody
that
would
would've
have been.
The Tombola eggs, which is those little minifigures that was released by Tombola, and they had a display box. They had an egg monster. They had one.
Yeah, no, they
and
had a
came out of
toy,
an egg.
But I'm talking like maybe they don't have them where you are, Bjorn. But here, Cadbury eggs are chocolate with like either a caramel or something in it. Like it's just a shaped egg, and it's got like a sugary diabetes-induced coma waiting inside for you. And so I think it would have been
They could have
perfect
just done
because
one
we have
yellow.
those at Easter.
They could have done a
We have
yellow
those
one.
at Easter here all the time. So yeah, I mean, they could have done another, Goosebumps exclusive one at the time in the '90s. I feel like that's a missed opportunity.
And if you get the yellow slime inside, you found the egg monster.
Yeah.
It's like the golden ticket for Cadbury. Maybe that's when you get something special from Cadbury if you find the yellow goob
The yellow
inside.
one.
You get a real egg monster, one of those green pulsating vein eggs.
Oh God.
I'm good.
But I think he's good. He's an underrated mascot. I think they also, like Captain Ben and Count Nightwing, they tried to bring the egg monster back a little bit. It didn't catch on. But the 2008 key art for the egg monster, I'll probably put the picture up right here. Is really cool. It's slimy. It looks like it's like crawling out of an egg. Like it's really, really good.
Oh, the next one. Oh yeah.
Okay. Here you go, Bjorn. Like, I pulled it up real quick just to show you, like, this is what it is in the States. So it does have yellow in it. I forgot about that because I haven't eaten one in like 10 plus
is an egg
years.
monster.
Yeah.
Yeah, they
But
could have
they
done
just
that.
made it all. They
What
could
about
have just made
Kinder
it all
Surprise?
yellow
Do you have Kinder Surprise over there?
Yeah, we got Kinder eggs
No.
over here.
They could have done
We
a
do,
Kinder Surprise Goosebumps as well, because they actually do little toys. They could have done an egg monster in the Kinder Surprise egg. See,
Well,
they
now
could
we
have done
got
any of those.
now we got the
that's-
Executioner from Night in Terror Tower.
Oh man, he was a mascot. Freaking every there's so much Terror
Yeah.
Tower stuff.
You got the Terror Tower game, you got the Terror Tower microverse. I mean, he was very popular just alone based off the VHS sales. He was
Yeah.
also at the Horrorland show, so he had quite a bit of love in the
Yeah.
90s.
Yeah, a lot. Yeah, he's
And,
up the top.
I might throw it up there with Poster Monsters because he even made like a appearance, I think, in the Goosebumps movie. It's very brief though.
Well, that's actually the picture right here is his appearance. In the Goosebumps
That's
movie.
what I thought.
Yeah.
See,
I mean, it
I
wasn't
would have
like he was a
loved to have
prominent
seen him in the
character,
movie
at least
more.
he was in it.
Yeah.
Like he could have like grabbed R.L. Stein and like thrown him in like a door and like literally like a dungeon and shut the freaking cage on him. Like I just imagine they could have done
Yeah.
cool stuff, like something
What
more
if they
cool
would
with
have
him.
caught Stein? You know, he was set to be executed.
Yes. See, Slappy
That would have been
calls for
cool.
him to execute Stein because he was trying to like get him, right? That would have been perfect. Why didn't they do that?
That would have been a 10 times better story than what we got.
Oh, see, we
I don't
think of
know
better
how
ideas.
far they would have went with that though, given that the Goosebumps movies was more geared towards
He's literally
So they
got his
probably
head like
upon,
he's got his head like leaning over, and Slappy's like, chop it off. Like,
off with his head.
oh my god, that would have
But,
been so fun. That would have been like, okay, if there was a darker, like R-rated Goosebump movie, then maybe that would have been the the plot.
Yeah.
But see, we won't get that for multiple reasons. Like, and I think that's a good thing because if anything, the Disney Plus show has taught me trying to have a more adult Goosebumps themed show or whatever movie, unless it's true fans who are doing it, it just is not going to go well. So as much as I would love to see like an R-rated Goosebumps of like the Haunted Mask or the Executioner in Night in Terror Tower, whatever. No, unless true fans are writing that and are at the helm, I don't trust Rob Letterman or any of those people who are attached to Goosebumps right now to do it. So, pass.
Well, in terms of
No.
even like, I don't think the movie design's that great. I think it's actually kind of dumb looking. But going back to like the 90s merch, I think using the Jacobus design with like the gray hood and the green like shirt, just completely like you can't even see his face. I think that's it. The movie version shows way too much of his face, so there's no like mystery behind it.
What's crazy too is all the merch.
I
just
do
used
like
things out on it, like
the
even the little
design, but I
screen
do
they had.
agree. Yeah, it needed to be different. I don't understand the shirtless part either. Like, I'd have to go back and look at executioners from medieval times, but I don't think they went around shirtless. I could be wrong. I mean, like, I could be very wrong. Because again, I don't know that history that well
Yeah.
to say, oh yeah, well, they wore this type of cloth or, this, that, and the other. They went shirtless and occasionally without underwear, like wore kilts. Why not? Because. So, I mean, it's fine. I would
I
have
think.
liked to have something more though close to the Jacobus cover,
Hmm. But he got a
but
lot of
that's
good
just me.
mileage. He got a lot of good mileage, and I think for the most part in the '90s, he was pretty recognizable. Um, and he had his time to shine. So I
He was on
would.
toys and everything, so yeah.
Yeah, even the little pocket screamer he had.
Even
Like,
the Yeah, even the Pocket Screamer he got. So he got a Series 2 collectible.
he had
I mean,
minifigures.
he was on a lot of stuff
Yeah.
Mhm.
back in the 90s.
I don't
They
know.
used to-
I know you guys want him on poster monsters. I would personally put him on trending. I don't think he's like an A plus, uh, mascot monster. But
I'd put him at the end of poster. He's on there, but he's at the
yeah,
end.
Poster
no,
Monster, just because he is more popular and used more on stuff than other characters, to where he is memorable. Like
that is
most
true.
people could probably sit there and say, I had the Terror Tower audiobook, or I had the
Oh, is
Microverse, or
that
I
true?
had the board game, or I had, something usually he was on. So it's
That
more
is true.
memorable.
Memorable
So,
in that sense, yeah. It's a memorable VHS tape too. Everyone, that's like the one
yeah, that
everyone
too. The
had.
VHS tape too.
Yeah.
Especially since
Everyone
it came
had
out
that
on the
one.
same day as Stay Out of the Basement. It's funny that we put Stay Out of the Basement so
Yeah.
much further down the list, but
But as a
whatever.
mascot, yeah, it's
But
what's
as a
different.
mascot, yeah.
Now we have a movie exclusive mascot, and that's
Reject.
the Gummy
I
Bears.
will eat it and reject it later.
Uh,
I will eat them and reject them later.
I'm gonna
Reject.
put
No,
it.
you'll eat it and eject it later.
Yeah.
Eject it later. What's worse than Count Nightwing? Well, sorry,
Uh,
Avery Jones, but the gummy bear.
honestly, yeah, I'm gonna say
No.
Gummy Bears. I did
Covered
not.
gummy bear.
I did not get the appeal for these guys. Goosebumps 2
Uh,
really wanted you to know that there were gummy bears in this movie.
Let me find.
it
Are
And
they
really
even
did.
in the?
And the
Are they
CG
even
now
was so
in?
bad.
I like Goosebumps 2, but like this is the
I do
gnomes
too.
in the first movie done worse. Like
Are
at
you
least
here?
at least the gnomes were like a little bit threatening because they had weapons and you couldn't really get rid of them.
Yeah, they tied up Stein, tried to throw him like in the oven or
Yeah, they were
whatever.
like
So I mean,
they were
like
like trying to actually like kill
they
these
were
people.
legit monsters, bro. They were ready and willing to. The gummy bears were just like, hey, I'm a gummy bear.
Well, even when they
I'm,
try to like
I'm a
eat
bear.
one of the kids, it's
Like,
like,
oh,
why don't you just like start eating it yourself? Like, I don't think it's that strong where you couldn't like force your way through one of them. So I don't know. It was
That's
purely
an easy
done
one.
for two
Don't eat
reasons.
that.
Purely done so they could have some like cute little like, oh, isn't that so cute? Oh no, it's not cute in the trailer, and probably so they could use the fucking Gummy Bear song in the trailer too. So
yeah.
yeah.
I mean, probably because that was popular at the time, so that's probably true. I mean, don't get me wrong, it did make a neat merchandise item for Goosebumps. It was one of the very few items Goosebumps 2 had
I
as a
got the
merchandise
gummy
item.
bear plush.
Yeah.
Oh, I know you do. Bjorn's got everything. God,
But
it's so
I
crazy
don't
how
think
much
it
shit you
deserved to have
have.
so much
How
attention
do
on
you
them.
have so much stuff?
I don't know. Even when it's crappy gummy bear merch from the movie, I'll still buy it because it's Goosebumps. Like, I'll still buy it.
Was
But you
what
can't,
was the
it's not
gummy bear
edible.
thing? Was that just that was a promotional item, wasn't it? That's not something
Yeah,
you could just buy at the store.
like Hairbro. What's it called? That does
Hasbro.
yeah, they did
No,
the little Goosebumps in the
Oh,
corner. Of
Haribo.
the, like,
Haribo.
pack.
Haribo.
Not
Hasbro.
Yeah.
Haribo.
Haribo. So
Haribo,
when they did like the
whatever.
packets during the film's release, they had the little Goosebumps advertisement in the corner. So I was like, they had to do that. Like,
Yeah.
how can you not? And I never
Right.
got one though, but I saw everyone else buying them, and I was like, "Can you just eat them and then send me the packet? Like, I'll just take the empty wrapper."
Yeah, just don't throw
I
it
never
away.
got one. It's so
That's
annoying.
dedication. Dedication
That's
right there.
something I should have got. Like,
Uh-oh.
yeah.
Yeah, so Gummy Bears terrible. But here
Absolutely
we
terrible.
go. The Haunted Mask.
Actually, where you're hovering, probably where I'd put it.
Right below
Haunted
Cuddles?
Mask. Haunted Mask had a ton of
mascot-wise.
merch.
Well, no, look,
But
Haunted Mask's the
mascot-wise-
is like the most iconic book. We know that. But like mascot,
Yeah,
let Nick decide on
it
mascot
is.
though. Where does it sit as a mascot?
Yeah, when you think about this stuff as a mascot, that's probably where I'd put it. Maybe even behind Executioner, because it was used on merch quite a bit, obviously, because I mean, I got a ton of it back here, but
Yeah.
and even the new figure from Sugar Tree Studios, the mask, all this other stuff. But when it comes to being a mascot, I mean, it didn't even get hardly any movie time. The 90s episode was iconic, but you barely got any merch for it.
It's
You
the most
did get
iconic episode. The
some
most
merch
iconic
for it, don't get me wrong.
I don't know. I don't know if I agree that I don't think it should be below Executioner for all of like the iconic like imagery from the Haunted Mask. I think it beats out the Executioner, and I just think that the Haunted Mask in general is a more interesting and certainly unique creature than the Executioner is. So
Oh yeah, 100%.
I think as a monster, it really does work. And I don't know. I feel like
I think where it is perfect. Like what makes I think where it
its
is
exposure in the 90s and definitely nostalgia wise has really shown that it has like that iconic nature to it. And this is one where definitely I feel like anybody's gonna know. If you look at the Jacobus art, anybody's gonna know that's Goosebumps. Like that right there that's Goosebumps. So I would say I agree where it is.
I'm not disagreeing with you at all in regards to that. It's just when I try to think of this like as a mascot, don't get me wrong, like would I love for Haunted Mask been a mascot over, say, Slappy as it stands in the current regime of Goosebumps? Oh, of course, because it's the Haunted Mask.
Yeah.
But, I don't know. Like, it's hard to picture as a mask. Like, what's a mascot? Like, Curly is a mascot. Like, that is the Goosebumps mascot, in my opinion. How Slappy became one, I think was just out of popularity. And maybe because it's like Stein's favorite monster. I don't really know how all that came about. But
well, it's weird. It's weird because you got different categories. Stein said the Haunted Mask is his favorite book, but he said Slappy's his favorite to write. So it's like you have categories of like things, and then you've got the Haunted Mask, which is like the most iconic Goosebump book, and then you've got it as like the most iconic episode from the 90s TV series. But then Mascot. So you got to think about like every different category and where something sits. So tier list, we had Haunted Mask as number one, right? Number one episode.
In terms of books.
But Mascot is a different category again. So it's like, where does it sit? In the 90s, though, when you think of Goosebumps, like the mashups they always did, it was always Curly, Slappy, Cuddles, Prince Koru, the Mud Monster, and the Horrorland Horror. Like they were like the main ones that was just in your face on everything, so, but then the Haunted Mask did have stuff too. Like you said, they had like the freaky face, they had an actual mask, they had a figure, the Series 2 collectible, they still had stuff, but they didn't push
even
it
when
like the mascots got pushed.
The Skies Inc. The Skies Inc. made 2 masks in 2008, and the only 2 they made were Slappy and the Haunted Mask.
Exactly.
Because they're 2 of the most iconic figures of Goosebumps. Like, you don't think Goosebumps and not think of those 2. So, I mean, I get that part of it, but it's just, I don't know, like when you try to think mascot, it's
a different category.
I would say, yeah, I guess it's a different category, but like, I'm like, yeah. Obviously, like there, normal circumstances, Haunted Mask would be number 1 for me on everything. But when it comes to mascots,
it's a different category.
No, I do agree that it's below Curly and Cuddles, and I would say there's probably 1 or 2 more that I feel would outdo it. But you can't deny that it's definitely got its iconic, and definitely now it's become a staple of Goosebumps, even more so than back then, and it was already a pretty tall order to fill. So I feel it definitely belongs up there in poster monsters, and I think below Curly and Cuddles is good.
I'll give you an example. Anytime I talk to someone that doesn't really know the franchise, Goosebumps at all, you just say to them, "Oh, yeah, the Goosebump books," and they're like, "Oh, the Goosebumps. Oh, is that dummy, that mask?" Like they'll say that because they don't know it, but they know of that dummy, or there was the mask. And that's just how they say it. They don't even say the haunted mask or Slappy. They just say dummy. Like, because they just remember seeing a ventriloquist dummy in a movie trailer or like a clip, like it was on TV, or you know what I mean? So it's very, when people think of Goosebumps, that's what they think of. But if you're a 90s Goosebump fan, you'll go, oh, Curly, the skeleton that was on all the stuff. So it's just it's generational. It's generations different. It's like it depends who you talk to. Yeah. Everyone's different. We're not all born the same. Like, you know what I mean? We can't all be born with the same brain. Like, we're all born with different minds.
We're all a hive mind here, okay? Haunted Mask, number one. Haunted Mask, number one.
Now we have the horror. Now,
he's fucking top, man. Like,
honestly, I would put him. Yeah, I'm gonna put him. I don't know. I would even put him.
Yeah, honestly, you're right. I think even like
maybe even almost the Cuddles. I don't know. Two. Like those two,
because literally the horror was on everything. Cuddles was almost, and I mean, like it's almost a tie.
I would even say, honestly, I'm tempted to put him above Cuddles because I think
I would throw it above for one reason, and it's because there was a board game. There was. I mean, it's obviously got a collectible as well. So you got to think like how much more stuff it was on. It was on shirts.
He had a pinball machine.
It was on a pinball machine.
He had his own two pinball machines.
Yeah, no, two because the claw game, right? The claw game was
the claw game, yeah, two. Well,
and that's the horror claw game.
This particular horror also, because there's tons of horrors, like especially for Horrorland.
Supplies.
But this one that was used a lot for the 90s was like, I feel like he just kind of had that 90s like punk attitude to him, that like rebellious.
Even down to the skates that you always see him in. Well, not always. There were some when he wasn't wearing skates, but they made skates, and I'm fairly certain they probably looked exactly like the ones he's wearing.
Yeah.
So I mean, like a lot of the stuff, yeah. Except the only thing weird about the 90s one, the artwork like that, like why did he have like a heart mom tattoo? I never ever understood that.
It's
the 90s. They're going for like a rebellious, like young adult teen look, I guess.
Not everyone had tattoos in the 90s like now. It was more of a like if you were in the army. Remember back then when they said, oh, you only people that had tattoos if they were like in the army or they were like, hardcore, they've been in jail. They were the people that had tattoos. It wasn't really like you went and got tattoos back then. Like now, everyone try and spot the person that doesn't have a tattoo now. So they were like, "Oh yeah, mom." Like,
I don't know. I had a lot of those temporary tattoos when I was younger.
That's what I mean. You were a rebel.
I was a rebel. You know what I mean?
You had Goosebumps temporary tattoos.
I was tatted up.
Yeah,
they were all Goosebumps temporary tattoos because they did a lot of those.
In terms of popularity, it was Curly and Slappy and the horror, I think, were like the three biggest even back in the 90s, alongside Cuddles.
You would just put Slappy next to Curly because you'd put Curly as the old, Slappy now, and then, do you know what I mean? Like, then and now. Just put them next to each other.
Doesn't matter. We all know where you're going.
Yeah.
I mean,
but the horror definitely has that like 90s look to him, which I feel made him, aside from Curly, a pretty good representation of Goosebumps and just the 90s era of like attitude, And
he's roller skating.
Yeah,
he's literally roller skating. Like, how 90s? That's the most 90s picture of all time.
Wait till we get to the Mummy, because that was a skateboarding fool, and he even till today with new stuff, the cavity colored shirt,
skateboarding.
Well, Curly took over that skateboard, but. I mean, he was. When we get there, we'll talk about it. But
yeah, but for now, we got to talk about the lawn gnomes. Now, we already talked about how the gummy bears did this worse, but I actually think the lawn gnomes are okay. I'm willing to put it in a nice experiment.
They're iconic, even if we don't like the book. They're still iconic. But the thing is, I love the '90s episode of lawn gnomes. I love the design, and so
I love that.
Yeah, the episode's good. The book's kind of meh.
Underrated episodes.
Was there much? I'm trying to think. How much Lawn Gnomes merch was there?
Not a lot. Not really any.
Not much.
It wasn't until
I don't recall a lot.
It was similar to the movie the Abominable Snowman, where the movie is what really like launched these guys into popularity. Um, but they got a lot of merch alongside the movie's promotion. And it was just another thing. It was like the gummy bears to the second one, where like the gnomes were everywhere too for the first one's promotion. So you would always see like a gnome probably in the corner of a poster or something like that. And they were pretty good. They're better than the gummy bears because, as we said before, they're a lot more dangerous. They want to kill the characters. Like they're trying to again throw Stein into a burning oven. They have like
threw a
little
knife at
pickaxes.
Dylan Minette's head.
Yeah,
And he just missed him. He just missed him with an.
and
He
that shit went
literally
deep
would have
into the
killed him.
wood. Like, how much force does that gnome have?
R18 Goosebump movie. It hit him in the head. Okay,
It's just the end of the movie. It's just the character dies.
It hit him. Well, maybe not the head, but it hit him in the neck or something. Like
Oh yeah, I don't know. I think that makes it worse in the neck. I mean, we see those in horror movies all the time.
If it hits him in the head, that's just instant death. If it hits him in the neck, that's a
So
slow
I
death.
actually love that moment
like
in
a
the
slow,
movie
painful death.
when he's just like, maybe they're friendly. Oh,
Nope.
and he's like, not friendly. Definitely. And the little
It was
eyebrows just go,
funny.
like, I actually like that moment, even though it's like it's kind of cringy, but it's cute. I don't know, it's weird. I like that. Just
If
that
you're
moment.
gonna have little like minion-esque monsters, I feel the lawn gnomes fill that.
They're perfect. Yeah, they're perfect for
Yeah,
that.
they
You know
fill
what?
that role. I don't think they're amazing. Even going back to like the book, they're not like amazing characters. I do feel like the book and the episode had better motivations for them because they were like mystical creatures or something like that. But they're fine. They did their
I like
purpose.
the episode more just because they really put emphasis on the fact that the gnomes were just mischievous. There's like, that's just our nature. That's what we
Yeah.
do.
You're gonna
Amp
probably
shit up.
recognize the gnomes more from the movie though, instead of the entire franchise. So
Hey,
like the
the
Abominable
gnomes
Snowman.
actually are the Goosebump monster. The gummy bears are not. So there's the difference.
Oh boy,
One is
here we go.
The gummy
One's
bears,
just,
honestly, like, are very forgettable to me.
Here
I
we
wish I
go.
could forget altogether. I was only reminded when we put them on the tier list.
Yeah. Now we got the masked
masked
mutant.
Look, he's at least in the middle. He's at least in the middle because look, he's got a pop vinyl now. Like
Well,
as
and
a mascot, people know him, right?
I would say it's nice experiment or trending. Those are my two choices.
I'm gonna put him
Nice
above the lawn
just
gnome.
because-
nice
I think he's more interesting because he's a supervillain that can turn into anything. He did have the episode. He did have the Funko Pop, and he also had that PC game in the '90s.
game. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
he did have
He
that.
had seriously
game,
Seriously
collectible.
collectible.
Did it have an
He had a
audiobook?
window cling.
Yes, he
window
did have an
cling
audiobook.
and stickers and
Yeah, it
he had
did have
stickers like those stickers they did. They had a masked mutant on there.
Mhm. So
yeah, he had a few things. He wasn't like left out completely in the 90s.
it was a lot like I would say like Amazo, where he wasn't like absent. He was certainly there. Actually, no, it's more like Egg Monsters because Egg Monsters had a few like tiny pizza merch here and there. Mutant was the same way. But yeah, besides the pup Funko vinyl, he hasn't really made any appearances since the 90s. But I like him as a villain. I think he's a cool concept for a villain.
Yeah.
We'll see what happens if they do a wave 2 of the Goosebumps figures. Because I fully expect that Trick or Treat Studios will make a Mass Mutant figure.
Probably.
I mean, to me, it's a no-brainer. I'm actually surprised it didn't appear in the first wave, but
They
even
gotta
then,
do
like,
it. Okay.
how's it not been a comic book yet? I know we talked about that before in a previous
Yeah, what
episode.
the fuck?
But they're doing
Yeah,
Goosebumps comics
that's so
and graphic
weird that they never
novels,
got
but the
one.
only comic
comics,
book
no
character
graphic novel.
hasn't gotten a comic book.
That's bullshit.
Crazy.
You know what? Wave
Crazy.
2 of those figures has to have the masked mutant and there's got to be an executioner with the axe.
Yeah,
Please. Like,
I would say.
come on.
I
Like,
really hope
those
that Executioner
scream
is too, but
figures. Like those two scream action figure. Masked mutant, executioner, and literally he has like a button that makes his arms go like this. He has chopping
I
action.
don't know.
Yeah.
They could do it at that scale, I guess. I mean, it's like a Happy Meal toy at that
And it's
point.
a real
So I
blade
don't
on
know
that
if they'll do it
axe.
or not. Yeah.
The real Blade. I would love to see
Um,
the horror as well. Like those three, I would love to see in Wave 2. The horror. Um, oh God, yeah.
Yeah,
Those
that'd definitely
three are
be
like
a
definite
discussion for
ones.
another time because we could talk about that for
Yeah.
hours. Well,
um,
that's maybe something that's an idea. Let's do an episode like that. Let's do an episode
that
where
would
we
be
talk
cool.
about Goosebumps products we want to see from companies that are making Goosebumps products today.
Yeah. And send the video their way when we're done.
Oh,
Cheers.
100%. Yeah, no, I'll definitely send it to Tots, Cavity Killers, whoever.
But
Yeah.
Hey,
yeah,
make this.
that's Mass Mutant's gonna land right there. He's okay. I think he's pretty okay.
Monster
Oh
Blood, can
boy.
we just put it like, can we just put it in? We'll give you a call. Because it sounds like when we say, we'll give you a call. Maybe
I'm
one
gonna
day
put
we'll
it
use you.
I'm gonna put it above Abominable Snowman because at least a giant blob of green goo is more interesting to look at. Monster Blood did not catch on as well as Cuddles did. So Cuddles is a Monster Blood character,
Um,
but Cuddles is more standout, where the Monster Blood is just basically a giant like green blob. Uh, and really, I guess besides like if you wanted to count the logo as Monster Blood, and anytime they had like slime as Monster Blood, it's not really a
yeah, I don't even
character.
know. Yeah, I was gonna say I don't even know if we can do that because Goosebumps started before the Monster Blood book, and the logo was already there. It looked like, slime. It may not have been green with Welcome to Dead House and all that, stay out of the basement, but it was still there. I
Yeah,
mean, I guess that could always be changed and say, retroactively now it is. Because
yeah,
I mean, he obviously wrote books ahead of time before they were released, so maybe he had those few things in mind, but
yeah.
something we'll have to ask Stein one day.
But in terms of its
If he
placement, it's
passes
just
away before we can, we'll get the Ouija board out and we'll see if we can make contact. I'm
uh,
very curious.
we already did an entire episode talking about Monster Blood, so we won't harp on it for too long. But
Nah,
just
we're done with
basically,
that.
it's it's just not that amazing. It's not terrible if you wanted to put it on like some
It's not
merch or
amazing.
make some toys
It's no
for it,
Amazo.
but it's not
It
it's not
was
a
on
character
merch
though.
back in the day, if I remember right. I mean, I think it was on like a folder, some school supply stuff, but I mean, that was
Yeah,
really about it. I mean,
yeah.
there's not much you could do with it otherwise, with the
Unlike
exception of
all
like
of these
Monster
other
Blood 3-pack,
characters,
actually came with a small container of Monster Blood,
mhm.
which again was more like slime, gack, whatever,
But
Nickelodeon slime kind of deal.
the thing about the Monster Blood is that it's not really a character, unlike all these other ones. It's basically just like a mass that is sentient, I guess. So it's gonna go right
Yeah.
there, and we'll give you a call. Oh, now we
Mr.
got
Mortman.
Mr. Mortman. Now this Mr. Mortman is mostly iconic through the TV episode, but he did have a few
He had a few
merchandise.
toys.
Actually,
Yeah.
the one for the picture right here is one of the figure in the monster bags. Um,
I like that he got some love.
what do you guys
Yeah,
think?
but as far as Mascot goes, probably nice experiment. I mean,
Maybe
they
at the end.
try to do stuff with him, but they just didn't do enough with him to
I'm
warrant
gonna
any higher than that.
I'm gonna
Maybe
put him
even we'll
above
give you
Amazo. Yeah. I think
Yeah.
he has a good design. I do like that the merch used his TV show design. Like that kind of carried
yeah.
over.
He's coming out of Monster
Well,
Blood. Look, he's ripping
is
himself
any
out of
other?
Monster Blood.
Yeah.
Because I know that they use the cover on again, probably like notepads or
Yeah.
folders.
It was either the
Uh,
I have
cover.
to look and see what all
It was the binder.
was
It was a folder. It was a
Yeah.
binder
binder.
folder.
Yeah, it was binder.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
Well, they even brought him back for the
Yeah.
new game, the new board game that has a Mr. Mortman on it.
Yeah, that's true. Goosebumps the game.
Yep.
That released last year.
Yep, last
Yeah,
year.
last year.
Yeah.
So
We all love Mr. Mortman, so
yeah, he's a good
Goosebumps
character.
fans know.
He's got a great design in his monster form. He just didn't get the same love as some of the other ones.
That is essentially a TV show figure too. the monster
Mhm.
bag one. Like, it's literally a
Oh
TV
yeah,
show
no,
from
that's a straight rip from the '90s show,
Yeah.
yeah.
Now we
which
got
is
the
great because
Mud
it was a great
Monster.
design.
Mud Monsters are top. He was used a lot in the
Yeah.
90s.
Yeah,
Like a
I
finger
was gonna say it
puppet.
was used a lot.
He's
I'm
up there with the clowns and the horror. Like, he's up
It
there.
definitely goes before the Haunted Mask because it was used on so much stuff.
mhm. Like
Tent,
that's
like all the, a lot of the, oh, I can't say all, but a lot of the actual school supply stuff. I remember
Always.
seeing some of them on, and
He even had scissors.
so many of
They
the
had
sports stuff.
one of the twisted
But yeah,
scissors was the freaking mud monster. Like, it just had his little face like in the center where the scissors come out. That was so random, but like they were like, "Yep, mud monster. We're gonna put him even on the
that's
scissors."
because otherwise it would just look like poop scissors. I mean, it was just so weird.
It was a mud monster's face, and he had freaky face. He was the other side of the one of the flip faces. Yeah, he was used a
Mr.
lot.
Hanky or Mr. Hanky.
well,
He
he's
had a
just
series collectible. He had freaking minifigures. Mud
He
Monster
was
was one
one-
of the
And now he's got a Trick or Treat
got a
Studios
Tots,
mask.
got a Tots figure, yeah. A mask too.
I
the Tots figure.
mean,
See, he could be a Funko Pop
it
figure.
has a great design, despite like we've talked about before, the book not being all that great. The episode I enjoyed to an extent,
Mhm.
but
He's another
I wish that we would have seen Mud Monster more in it. But still, it's not a bad episode.
he's another really good design because he's also versatile because he's basically just a mud person. But I always really liked him. I always really loved the cover art for the book. And I feel like he is an identifiable, like he was definitely one of the more used ones in the 90s in terms of like the key art and the merchandise and the marketing. So he had a lot of love. And I just think he's a really cool looking monster. Cool.
Yeah, he is. I like the Mud Monster.
So I think he goes right
I was
up
always
there.
excited when I found a new piece of merch with him on it. Like, I would be like, "Cool, the Mud Monster." Like, I must admit, I was always a big fan of him. Murder the Clown.
Ooh, yeah. Now we got Murder the Clown. This is another very modern. I think
Kids
this is
today might like him, but he doesn't, not my, like, I got Pennywise. I'll stick with Pennywise.
yeah.
Okay.
I'm gonna honestly, I'm gonna put him in rejects. I just
He's
don't
a
think
reject to
he's
me.
I don't think he's interesting at all because
Where
it's
I
just
put it.
there are so many other like scary clowns and there's nothing to murder other than the fact that he's just a scary clown. That's it. It's like Count Nightwing where it's just like the most generic monster you can think of. So
Yeah.
Honestly,
Not much to say
clowns are
about
so
him.
played out. Like as a Halloween enthusiast, I am so sick and tired of seeing clown shit every year. And they
Mhm.
just think, "Oh, I reinvented this." No, you didn't. It's a damn clown that you try to make look scary. And I'm just, oh my god, like I could go on forever about that, and I'm not going to because I know we're on a
The
time
three
crunch.
clowns to me, the three most iconic clowns in my brain is Pennywise, Art the Clown now, and the Killer Clowns from Outer Space clowns. Those three are like the
Yeah.
definitive clowns for me. Like those three. Other than that, when they do other stuff, I'm just like, I don't care. If it's those three though, I'm like, cool. They're cool. I like those. Anything
No.
else, I'm like, eh.
There's
Pass.
nothing else to say about Murder. He's boring. I don't know why they tried to push it. It's a lot of the movie ones. I'm like, why did you try to like make these guys popular when you already had a plethora of other
I
ones?
want to say we found out about, didn't we? Didn't we talk about that? Like we found out like that actor or whatever who played the clown in the movie was like, I don't know. I think Letterman just really liked what he was doing and used him a bit more for stuff.
Yeah,
But
I guess.
How he was used in the movie, I said this from day one. How he was used in the movie should have been the haunted mask used in the movie. Like the haunted mask should have been what jumped up at the window and looked in, like and walked away. I hated that it was the clown. I said this when I did my movie review because I was so disappointed that we didn't see much haunted mask. I was like, what the fuck? Like, so it was like,
yeah, it wasn't making
whenever Murder the Clown showed up, which was enough, I was like, it should have been the haunted mask in every one of those shots that they used the clown. And that pissed me off.
Mhm.
I was like, it should have been swapped with the haunted mask. And he was just in the background, like just a random clown that walks around. That's what I said anyway about the movie. So
Yeah.
I agree.
yeah,
Well, staying on the movie, we have the praying mantis. Now, I like
and
this
the mascot
one.
though.
Yeah, it was another movie exclusive one where it was like very popularized by the movie. Um, I do I do like it definitely more than Murder and The Abominable Snowman, but I'm gonna put it and we'll give you a call. I don't know. Do you guys
Yeah.
think it's better or worse than the Law Gnomes?
Oh, it's worse than
No,
the
it's
Lawn
worse than
Gnomes
Lawn
are at least
Gnome.
more iconic, like mascotty. They're more of a mascot than the praying mantis, I guess.
Yeah.
Praying mantis is like again, it's a rampage monster.
I'm gonna put it.
It's there for
Yeah.
size and
Yeah.
shock and rampage and oh, we got to drive away as fast as we can, or he's going to catch us.
hmm Yeah. I'm gonna put it in between Monster Blood and Captain Ben, and we'll give you a call. Um, it's certainly like it's certainly like a dangerous monster because it's so big. It's like just a giant insect that can like and insects are, primal creatures, so it's not like you can reason with them. They're
Yeah.
just gonna hunt you down and probably bite your head off. So,
Well, especially since it's a praying mantis, then you say that. So
yeah, praying mantises are fucking
that's just the
scary.
thing, and that's what makes it not stand out so much. It's just a giant praying mantis. It's like a praying mantis got monster blood.
Yeah.
It ain't some
Unlike
monster.
Cuddles.
Yeah.
I mean, there was really nothing more to it than that. And yeah, and honestly, Cuddles was just, well, that's better as far as we talked about, comparing Cuddles to a giant praying mantis.
More identifiable. When you look at
Praying
Cuddles, you're
mantis
like, yeah, that's Goosebumps. Well, see, Goosebumps Cuddles is one of those monsters. When you look at it, you're like, that's Goosebumps.
Yeah.
that's a mascot material. Like when you look at it, I mean, it screams, yeah, 90s for sure. I don't think they could use it today for much of anything unless they
Yeah.
bring back that type of artwork and design work. Then maybe, but with their current run of everything merchandise wise, I don't think they could do it.
Yeah.
Well, now we got Prince Koru, the mummy.
Oh, that's definitely. I would say even
I'd say even
between the horror and Cuddles.
Really? I don't know. I personally
He was
don't
on a
gel with
lot
the
of
mummy as
stuff.
much.
I don't
Well,
either,
he's
but that's not what this is about though. You got to think Mascot, and it was on T-shirts and sleeping bags and all this. So like a lot of
He
school
was on
supply stuff.
an air mattress. He had an air mattress. It's like,
I don't know. It
all
was on a
things.
tent too, wasn't it? It was on the tent that
On the
went with that
tent,
set. Like he had a whole set,
figures,
pillowcases. I mean, literally, like,
motion
and then
creature.
even the Pepsi stuff. Like I have a freaking standee right now in my room, with him on it. Just with a giant Pepsi can. I mean, literally, it was on everything.
He was on a skateboard. He was on one of the skateboards. That big, yeah.
I personally would put him in trending. Not that I don't deny he was on a lot of stuff, but I just think unlike like the horror and Cuddles and even the Mud Monster, there's not really much to Prince Koru other than just being a mummy. Like
Exactly.
it's not really like, I don't know.
Don't
I
get
don't
me
know.
wrong. It's not
If he's on-
iconic in the sense of like monster, like new monster status. Like it's not a horror or curly,
Mhm.
100%. But when you look at it as just Mascot, they put it on everything. It had a figure even. I mean, it had a collectible. I mean, it was on everything. And even in new merchandise, it's got a mask. Well, they did Curse of the Mummy's Tomb, but still, it's a mummy. They look damn near the same.
So
Was
you
it
guys
done?
think
Well,
Yeah.
okay, if
So,
he's gonna be,
a
we'll
figure-
compromise. Put him at
Sure.
the end of poster.
well,
Put him
I'm
at the
just
end. Like,
I'm
he's up
just
there.
I'm no. Here's I feel like I could settle for at least above Haunted Mask. I just
Yeah.
I again, he was iconic. I just don't think he stood out to me among some of these other ones. But that's just my opinion.
He's one of the crew. He was one of the crew. He was always on the.
I guess I'm more
mashups.
thinking about like do I like, does he work as a mascot as opposed to like, he was a big used mascot. But yeah, I guess, I think
Yeah.
he was one of the most used, so I think he should belong up there.
It was one of the most used and most popular. I mean, like I said, they did skateboards probably with him in mind, like Bjorn said, because I mean, he was on a skateboard. I think even one of the artworks I've seen somewhere along the way even had a bike helmet or a skateboard helmet on him when he
Yes.
was
Yeah,
using
on the
those, if I
actual
remember
packaging.
right.
He was on the actual
Yeah.
packaging of the box. Like he's on the box of the packaging of it. Yeah. They used the mummy. He was
So
used on
I
the
mean, he
Goosebumps
was
sports stuff. A lot of the sports stuff.
yeah,
Yeah.
he was an iconic character. It is just a mummy. I agree with you on that. That's why it's never been one of my favorites, but it is 100% an iconic mascot from the 90s.
Hmm.
Yeah. From people. Yeah. When they look at the '90s Goosebump merch, he
You
was one
can't
of
escape
the
it.
crew. He was one of the crew. Yeah.
Well, now we
One of
got
those
Rip the
mascots.
cat.
Part of the crew.
Now we
Rip
got
the
Rip.
cat.
He was definitely
He's the poster mascot number one. He is the top dog above Curly.
Cat.
No.
Top cat.
I
Above the
mean,
top
Curly.
cat. Oh, top cat.
he
Oh,
was
God.
used a lot
Yeah.
on the Series 2000. I would put him in.
Okay, if we're talking Series
Put it in the
2000,
first book.
like mascot merch, which there was very little merch, he was used a lot.
There was
I'm gonna put
There's
him in
even a
trending.
T-shirt. There was even a '90s T-shirt, 1998, that had freaking "Cry the Cat" on it, like a straight up just T-shirt that was licensed shirt. Like it was pretty. I've got it, and it's probably one of the rarest Goosebumps shirts out there.
I'm gonna,
But yeah, he was used like on pretty much anything Series 2000 related.
I'm gonna put him on the top of trending because he was used when he could be. I do like the design. I don't think he's iconic because of his character, but for that era, that Series 2000 era, I think he did work. He was utilized a lot for promoting that particular series. And I do like him, so I'm gonna put him at the top of trending there.
I always love the cover art of that book. It's one of my
Now we
favorites.
have okay, so now we have R.L. Stine himself. Now, to be honest, the author of the series would be an iconic mascot of sorts, and Stein's kind of reached that status as an author where he's so connected
And
with
to be
his
fair,
franchise.
he doesn't have a figure yet or anything, but he was in multiple episodes of the '90s show. He was all over the place.
He had
He
that
has a
dummy
double
for
of
Living
himself.
Dummy 3.
Interviews, and I mean, even in his own books when they did that like monster makeup for him on that poster that you saw,
Hmm.
I
Yeah.
mean, he was literally a monster on a poster monster. So I mean, literally one.
Yeah.
So I mean, I don't know. I mean, like he's definitely up there.
Yeah, I'm
Shouldn't
gonna
he be like number one because he is?
well,
Like,
he-
I feel weird not
to
putting
be
him
fair-
like at number one.
to be fair, we judge him on different merits because he's not a book character. But when you talk about mascots, I'm gonna put him at the bottom. I would even put him at the top of trending. When you talk about mascots for a series, usually the author himself, especially an author as popular as Stein, is gonna be among that catalog because he did do his own fair share of placing himself into like the art and whatnot and the episodes and even the movies. So he's teetering between these two, but he definitely has to be up there.
Yeah.
Now we got the Scarecrow.
Yeah, there was a few things with the Scarecrow.
There
so he was
was more than I
pretty
thought there was
memorable.
actually, because there's one person out there who, and I can't remember the name of the
He just collects Scarecrow
person.
stuff. I know the guy you're talking about.
like collects like a lot of the scare as much as they can find, and there's more than I thought there was. It's harder to find, but
Mhm.
I mean, I'd maybe put it trending behind Egg Monsters personally, but that's
Yeah.
me.
There's
Like, I wish it could be higher because I really like it, but they just didn't use it as much.
They didn't utilize him a
wasn't-
lot. He's got a great
He wasn't
design.
horror or cuddles. Like
Yeah.
he wasn't there, but he
Yeah.
was up there.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he
I
was
wish it
in.
was used instead of the mummy, but even
Yeah,
though like when you compare, I mean, it's a scarecrow and a mummy, there's not much craziness to say about that.
yeah.
I know I sound very contradicting when I say this, but I just like scarecrows more.
No,
I'm
I like
biased.
Scarecrows
I'll know.
more.
I
I
don't
wish
care.
they did more with him. They did a few toys, a few things with him, but not as much as some of the other ones. Definitely not the Mummy. They used the Mummy a lot,
Yeah. Mummy
but
had a lot
I
more.
think he fits right there at trending. Now we got the Shrunken Head.
Not a great book, but he was on a lot of shit.
I think
Like
this one
a
goes right
lot of shit.
behind. I think he goes right
He
behind
was
A
on
lot
more
of
than the
stuff.
scare. No, but he was on more than the Scarecrow. Like a lot
Oh
more.
yeah, I would
Like
love for Scarecrow to remain where it is, but it's definitely it might even be in front of Cry the Cat. It's
I don't
probably
yeah,
know.
he was used a
top
lot.
trending.
There's a lot of
It was
Shrunken
on
Head
a
stuff.
lot of stuff, even down to a toy of a shrunken head. A couple of them, I think, even because you had
Yeah.
the squeezy white ball thing. I think that the head was in, and
The water
actually
squirter was
then got an
straight up
actual head.
a replica of like that art.
Yeah,
Literally,
But what do you
like,
think of it as
and
a
there was like a
monster,
keychain.
though?
There was even a little ring. There was even a little finger fright ring on the shrunken head. Like
yeah, that's right.
it
There
was so
was.
random, but yeah,
But
it exists. It's
See,
real.
in terms of a
that's why I like when
monster,
you.
though, does it outrank the Egg Monster or Scarecrow or Rip?
But that's not. But that's not what this tier list is
Not,
about.
not as a monster,
It's
but
not
as a
about
mask.
as a monster. It's about as a mascot.
Mhm.
I'm just
So when
thinking
you look
based
at
on
it
all the
from a
stuff
mascot
that
perspective, in the '90s, it was on everything. Like almost, I would even. I'd hate saying this because I'm not a big fan of Shrunken Head. I'd almost even put it in poster monsters because it was that popular that at the time, like at least for merchandise. I can't sit here and say like all the kids were like gaga over the Shrunken Head because they weren't. Uh, I don't recall very many people in my school like Shrunken Head, Kalia. There was none of that. None of that. But it was on a lot of shit.
it was very much everywhere on everything. Yeah, there was a lot of Shrunken Head stuff. God, I could bring out like
Whoever chose
boxes of merch.
the merch for back then, like what monsters to use, must have just really loved that design.
You know why? Because he's little. They literally could just slap him anywhere. Like, I remember, like, so many of the mashups, you'd have all the monsters and the Shrunken Head would just kind of be like there, like all the time. Sometimes you even had like random
Yeah.
artworks of like, oh, there was the one where like they're playing soccer, like the characters, and they're using the Shrunken Head as like the soccer ball. Do you remember
As the
that one?
ball. I remember
It's
that.
like
Yeah.
actual artwork of that in one of the diaries I've got, and they literally use the Shrunken Head as like the ball because it's
See that, and
yeah no
that's what I'm saying. Like as a monster, I would put it in rejects, but as a
yeah
mascot, I would say it's up there in trending. I don't know if I'd put it in, even though they use it on a ton of stuff. I don't think it's as memorable to most people as what we've got in the poster monsters so far. So I think trending is a good spot for it.
Yeah, that's what
in
I'm
terms of
thinking.
what's used. Okay, just put him up next to
Oh,
Curly.
gee, yeah, just yeah, we all know where this is going. Come on,
Slappy, Slappy's
slap,
right up there.
Slappy is
Flappy
right
and
up
Curly
there.
are together. They're together because and you know
Yeah,
what? Like I said earlier, old and new. Just put them together.
Yeah.
That's
No,
just where they.
Slappy.
even back then, Slappy was competing with Curly for
They even
probably
had an
mascot.
argument at the
It's
stage
crazy.
show. They were the only two that like interacted in the stage show. Like they had an argument where he's like, "I'm gonna introduce you to the boneyard. Don't you say that to me, you little splinter." Like they were even having like a fight,
My
like
thing,
an
the thing
argument.
with Slappy,
I thought it
why
was
he
funny.
works is that he's probably one of the most dynamic characters in the Goosebumps franchise. So he's identifiable because people remember his personality. They remember that he's like, he always messes with people. He always gets people in trouble. He's got a very like big attitude to him. He's always mean. He's always saying mean insults to everybody. So it stands out and probably is why he became so popular because he had that outstanding personality. A lot of these monsters are basically just monsters
Mindless,
and nothing really else.
mindless monsters. Slappy's smart. Like he's smart and
Slappy is
clever.
smart.
He can
He's
make
got a
things
brain up in
happen.
that. wooden head of his.
He's like he's Goosebumps' Chucky. Like he's literally possessed by like an evil like person. You could just say like
Yeah.
you could say he's just possessed by an evil dude. Like, and if it was R-rated, he'd be killing people. Like an R-rated Goosebumps, Slappy be using a knife. Like stab, stab. Yeah, no,
Yeah,
he's got a
he's up
brain.
there. I still think Curly is the number one, but Slappy is definitely the number two.
Number one and number one, number two,
Number two.
And finally, we have
number two.
the werewolf Will Blake from Fever Swamp.
Hi, I'm number
I
two.
wish this was used more as a mascot, but it wasn't.
He's trending.
90s merch was few and far between for Fever Swamp, and that sucks. I think it's just because maybe they didn't know what to do with it.
There's a couple
But-
things. There was a nightlight
No, there were a few things. I mean,
there was a
there was a
puzzle.
nightlight,
puzzle.
puzzle and stuff. But I mean, it was nowhere near what a lot of these other monsters got, and I think it's just because they didn't know what to do with it.
Mhm.
Even the Goosebumps movie, even though they brought him back, and I think was he in the? No, he was in the second one, but not very much.
Yeah. No, he was like the
Not
Abominable
as
Snowman when he
prominent
was
as
in the
the
second one.
first one. Yeah,
Yeah.
he was
So
there, but not very prominent. So it didn't get a lot of love until that first movie, and even then, I don't even think I got promotional merch like some of the other characters did, with the exception of maybe like a Subway tote bag, maybe.
Yeah, there was a random. No, it was
Was
like
there
Del
a tote bag?
Del Taco.
Or Del
It was a
Taco.
Del Taco bag. It was weird. Like
That was really it. I mean, it did not get a lot of love.
once at Halloween had a drink cup with a topper on it. They did have that. There
well,
was that random drink cup with the werewolf head on it, and for Haunted Halloween. That's the only other thing I can think of.
well, with that said, I feel like of the ones that became popular in the movie alone, I do think that he shines better. I think he has a better design,
Oh,
and
yeah.
being a werewolf, he's just a better, he's a more terrifying monster than a lot of the movie ones. So I'm willing to put him up there in trending. I wish they did more with
Yeah.
him, but I
Same.
feel like for the spotlight he did get, and overall, if there were to do more with him, I feel like he would stand out a lot more.
Yeah.
Yeah, I really like, and we all know how much I love the episode, and we all do. Um,
One of
I
the
really
best.
wish it got a lot
One of
of
the
love,
best.
and it's a great book too. So I mean, like, it's just a shame because I mean, I love werewolves. I mean, that's easily my favorite like monster from like Universal, if you want to put it that way. Like as far as like design, and if there was one I could, even though I like Creature from the Black Lagoon is probably my favorite movie. Werewolves are
Yeah.
just like my favorite mythical creature or whatever you want to call them.
Hmm.
So just I wish we could put it higher, but this is not a monster list, it's a mascot list. So it's gotta be lower.
But in terms of that, that is our tier list for Goosebumps mascots based on how well they were used, whether or not they deserved their mascot status, and just based on the monster alone, we came to our tier list here. Again, if you guys agree or disagree with any of our picks, nothing wrong with that. Let us know in the comments below what you guys think, because we would love to see your guys' opinions.
Yeah.
But in
I genuinely-
terms,
just looking at that list, I was like, that looks pretty accurate. Like everything where it's placed. Like it looks
I agree.
pretty much.
I think it overall just
Right.
comes down to like, who are the ones that people are going to look at and be like, that I know that's from Goosebumps. I can recognize that one. And obviously, Curly, Slappy, and the horror, because they're some of the most iconic monsters from some of the most iconic books too. So people are going to be like, I know what that's from. I know that's from Goosebumps. That is going to do it for tonight's episode of the Goosebumps Crew Podcast. As always, make sure you follow Bjorn and Nick at Goosebumps Austin Fan and Sean, respectively, in their social medias and their YouTubes. If you liked today's episode, make sure you leave a like and comment. If you're watching us on YouTube, make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel. Follow us on our audio platforms and social medias. All those links are in the description below, so check them out. We'll have another episode for you next week, but until then, this has been the Goosebumps Crew Podcast, and from all of us here, I want to wish you all, as always, to take care, stay safe, and have a very scary day.